Some of the common challenges we face with cybersecurity relate to any organization, but in particular when we're looking at schools, one of the things we find is that students learn so much faster than ever before, and information and exploits are spread so quickly. Poor or unimplemented user agreements, basically outlining what the rules are often the case, and simply a lack of cybersecurity awareness, both at the faculty level as well as the end user. Within any IT department, the biggest problem tends to be no long-term vision, okay? They don't update, they don't upgrade, and they don't keep pace with the changing world. Challenges that affected us in 5 years ago will be irrelevant in 5 more years. We have to adapt. IT staff are really often too busy doing non-IT functions, ordering equipment or filing things or taking notes, things that don't require their level of expertise. And a lack of centralized malware and monitoring and protection systems are often to blame for being simply unaware that we have been intruded upon. In our first case study, we're talking about a semi-nude teacher photo that was forwarded to a large number of students within a school. This is from the pages of reality. A 16-year-old high school student found a teacher's phone that was unattended and unlocked. They took the phone, flipped through it very easily, found some pictures that were clearly not meant for public distribution, and snapped pictures of the pictures with their own phone and quickly started distributing that within the school. Now, what happens? The school blames the teacher. They fire her. The teacher blames the student, files a lawsuit. Now the student is facing legal challenges, and all because no protections were in place on that phone. So in this situation, one of the first things that needed to be done as soon as a breach was identified was to educate and inform the school staff about this breach. All too often, IT staff will hide, wait for it to blow over, hope nothing happens, and unfortunately that does not allow the administration, management to take any protective action for the organization and to even work on trying to contain the spread. If left on its own, it's going to go out of control in many cases. We talk about prioritization, okay? Priority here would have been simply to have this device that locked automatically. As soon as that device was put down, it's a simple matter to have the thing go into a lock, which requires a password or even a fingerprint to get into. Also, discouraging bring your own device. This is a very common trend in environments lately as organizations try to shift the financial expense of devices back to the end users. There's a downside to that, however, is when you shift that expense, you also run into privacy concerns. You can now no longer fully control what is done with that device and how it is configured, how it is protected. All of these things become out of your control. So did we really save anything? Metrics. We need to inventory authorized device and monitor for those devices attempting our network. In this case, if Wi-Fi had been used, that's one method. We could have been monitoring whether or not these devices that are connecting to the network actually belong on the network. We can do what we can do in order to block or eliminate a lot of these situations. Third-party testing and monitoring systems and reporting systems, these are all available. If we notice that there's a sudden surge in traffic, that's something that should be thrown up as an alert to the IT staff to allow them to look into it. They should not be finding out from the nightly news that this event happened. And in automation, again, coming down to having simple systems in place that can monitor the activity within your network, look at that activity and apply a countermeasure. For example, if you see too much of a certain type of activity, shut it down automatically, send an alert to IT, let them evaluate it, and see whether or not to release it. All of these events need to be reported, and those reports disclosed to all of the appropriate people within your organization for review and potentially legal defense.